Hello to all lovers of electrical work. Now today welcome to our illustration of domestic installation or the domestic system. So what we have here is we are going to show you what happened at the CCU going onwards. Now at this level, remember that an electrician, you must always be skilled and you must always have the tools that are required for you to do your work with efficiency and understanding. So at this point, I want us to focus so much as from the CCU. So at the CCU, we have the components of the CCU. So the number one component of the CCU, in our case, we have the bus bars. So we have the earth bus bar and we have the neutral bus bar. And we have the double cutout, and also we have the MCB, so the miniature circuit breakers. So apart from this one, we have the cable. So remember that as an electrician, you should always be familiar with the color code. So in our case, in Kenya, we always use the color red or color brown for live, while we use the color black for neutral, and we use the color yellow with the green strips or the color green with the yellow strips as the arc. So apart from that one, what you must always consider as an electrician, make sure that the cross-sectional area of the cables you are using is the recommended one. So most of electricians do focus so much on the face, on the size of the face, and they do assume that the size of the earth should always be smaller, or they pay so much attention to the color or to the size of the face, while when it comes to the size of the neutral, they always do reduce it. So we have something that we must always know, that different cable sizes has different rating of ampere. So as an electrician, you must always consider that. So in our case, we are going to connect 3 switches. We are going to connect 3 switches. So at the middle, we have the intermediate switch, and at this point, we have the two-way switch, and also at the end, we have the two-way switch. So what you have to know is that this kind of setup is always being used in a place like when you have that light at the staircase, and maybe your room is next to down the staircase. So you need to put the light on at this point, as you can see. But when you come, maybe at the top of the staircase, you'll need to put it off. And maybe there is also a person who is at the farthest end of the upper part of the staircase who will need to use the light at the staircase. So that person can, from his end, he can decide to put the lights on. Or maybe rooms in a long corridor. So what you'll have to do is that when you are entering the first door, put the light on, so you'll have the light along the corridor. So the person who is maybe staying at that room that is at the middle of that plot, you'll have to maybe put it off when you are getting into your house, and when you come at maybe the person who is at the farthest end can also decide to put it on. So and also what we have here is we have a socket here, as you can see. So the connection of the socket you must always consider connecting the earth cable. And apart from just the earth cable, you must always consider connecting the neutral and also the live. But remember that make sure that you observe the cross-sectional size, which in our case here we are going to use 2.5 millimeter squared. That is as per the socket. And at this farthest, as per the lighting, we are going to use 1.5 millimeter squared. So that's basically what we need to understand or what we need to do when it comes to the domestic setup. So at last, as an electrician, there is something that you must always pay attention to, which is the cable at the CCU or the consumer control unit. So what you have to know is that it is always recommended that, because this one was just for an illustration, but it is always recommended that you make the cable to even coil. As long as you make your work neat, make it coilier, so that in future, if maybe an electrician will be coming to do some correction, there won't be difficulties. Because if you make the cables too short, in future, it can lead to some difficulties when an electrician is coming maybe to do his or her work. And the next thing, make sure that the cables that you are using are well insulated, and make sure that you are using the cables that as copper as the conductor. So make sure that you take note of those ones.